Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Age the Veilguard is now free. That's not hyperbole. That's not clickbait. If you have a PlayStation Network subscription, you can get your hands on Dragon Age the Veilguard at no cost. This game is 4 months old. This was built, I just want to remind you, because some of you may have short-term memory, if you're part of the Woke Brigade on Twitter, if you're a games journalist, you may have a short-term memory. This game was glazed, given 9s and 10s out of 10s. The reoccurring phrase across all of these different reviews from critics was, this was a return to form for BioWare. Back when this game came out, I went through the entire list of reviews, and it was shocking how many of them had that phrase in there. And not only was it not a return to form for BioWare, not only was it not a 9 or 10 out of 10, but after the game came out, after it didn't sell well, after it was absolutely vivisected by gamers, a lot of these same studios that gave it 9 or 10 did scathing commentary about it. This game solidified, and I think in no uncertain terms, revealed the dishonesty in the gaming critic review industrial complex. We had all known it to be true, but Dragon Age the Veilguard was the nail in the coffin. So, you can go play this game for free now. But you know what? I don't think people are. Because not only is this game a value loss proposition, which means that you're not only going to be wasting your time, because how long is this game? 30, 40 hours? Not only are you going to be wasting your time, but at the end of it, there's no upside on the other end. Like, there's going to be no DLC. There's going to be no continuation of this. So it would basically be just sucking your time into a black hole, a vortex. And here's the thing. Dragon Age the Veilguard could have been good. But in order to make it good, they would have had to fundamentally change everything about it. The people behind the scenes, the thought process at the company. And here's the thing, I don't have any faith for Mass Effect 5. I don't know about you, but I'm not excited about Mass Effect 5. I look at Mass Effect 5 and I go, okay, whatever. Because I know that the same types of people are working on it, and they fundamentally do not understand what gamers want, which is okay. No, it is. It's okay. If you're not fit for purpose, if you've lost touch, if you are incapable of reclaiming your lost glory, you're going to go by the wayside. You're going to eventually be shut down. The people at BioWare, the 12 people that are remaining, are going to lose their job. That's fine with me. I have no problem with that. That is the market speaking and adapting. It's very, very clear that gamers are not buying what you're selling. And even free, I don't think this is going to make a blip in the concurrent player numbers. Because I think people are aware that this game is basically dead weight. I don't want to play a game where a character is going to do this song and dance about a barv for a couple minutes. I don't want to hear your disgusting freak cult culture about pronouns. I don't want to hear your disgusting fringe freak culture about LGBTQ. I just did a story. I literally just did a story about this. Let me pull it up from my own channel.
Humans are.
I just did a story about this. Let me see if I can't find an appropriate place to stop in here. Yeah, I just did this story. Democrats want to put condoms in kindergartens. And you may stop and go, whoa, wait a minute. But no, this is the LGBT community. This is what they want. This is what they advocate for. This is what they demand. All the time. More and more degeneracy. More and more filth in more and more places. Which is why my position is zero tolerance at this point. I'm not going to do a barv. I'm going to do a barf if I see anything LGBTQ. That's my position on this. And by the way, this story is real. Maryland is advancing a bill that allows condom sales at schools, including kindergarten, nursing schools, like basically anywhere that you have kids that are going to learn. They want to have a place where you can, feed them condoms, which is shocking. But it is what Democrats do. It is what these leftists do. They pervert and taint and destroy everything. Whether it's video games, whether it's, places of learning. These people taint and twist and destroy everything that they come in contact with. These are people that are part of an inhuman sex cult of just pure degeneracy. And I've had enough. And you know who else has had enough? Everyone else. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes what you're doing. You're gross. Your ideas are hideous. Immediately revolting. You're all liars. You're all perpetual serial liars. And so I sit here and I see that Dragon Age the Veilguard is in the free bin. And all I can do is laugh. We're gonna have a little chuckle at your expense. By the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel, this is my YouTube community tab. We have fun here. I post things from time to time, and I usually get some pretty good feedback. Should request a refund. Yeah, so yeah, free is a little too expensive for Veilguard. See, still too expensive, yeah. They need to pay me to play it. Still a homosexual game, true. Right as Monster Hunter Wilds releases, I will be too... That's a fair point, too. Monster Hunter Wilds is releasing, and why the hell would you go back and play this abomination when you can pay a little bit of money for a game that you know is going to be good? Who made Sony execs think this is a selling pitch for their console? Not a bad month if you like TMNT. I don't know about Sonic game. So yeah, people coming in and saying, hey, these two games are decent, I guess, but But Veilguard is the featured game. Veilguard is the featured game, and I think that says a lot. Let's see. Avowed will be the next 95% off, bundled with Obsidian's previous decent games. That's an interesting thing. Avowed bundled with Obsidian's previous good games. That would be the way to do it. Basically, treat Avowed as though it's just an add-on. I think Avowed is on Game Pass right now. So if you have Game Pass on Xbox, you get the game for free. So Avowed basically jumped into the free market, and it still has the abysmal numbers that it has. Still no. LOL, no thanks. Bad month. Gotta drive up those quote-unquote sales numbers. Yeah, so, I mean, there are a lot of people. One of the things I love about my channel is people are pretty sensible about this stuff. I don't usually have that many retards who come in and be like, no, Veilguard is the most amazing game ever. Like, if somebody actually liked Veilguard and made a substantive argument, I'd be like, okay. It's like, I don't agree, but most of the praise for Veilguard is just people wanting to defend the fact that it was a social justice game. Wanting to defend the fact that this game, it broke barriers and destroyed stereotypes. No. It was terrible. The writing, the aesthetics, pretty much all of it. And here's the deal. The reason why the game failed, I think fundamentally, even more than all the other little bits and pieces, is the people that are working behind the scenes were propagandists. They had an agenda. And they didn't trust, and I think actually rightfully so, because people hate their ideology, they didn't trust that the player would take the path that they wanted. So they basically just removed choice. That's a major problem. In Mass Effect 2, Renegade Shepard and Paragon Shepard are very, very different. The way they interact, the way they talk, throwing somebody off of a, multi-story building. It's very clear that in those games you were allowed to be one way or another, and I think that had an impact on the players' feeling towards the game because they got to be more connected with it, and it also encourages people to do a second playthrough where maybe you're more Renegade or maybe you're more Paragon. But in this game, there's none of that. You're not allowed to be rude. You're not allowed to be disrespectful. I would have had more respect for this game if you could have constantly misgendered Tosh. If you could have constantly been rude and disrespectful to Tosh, but you understand, they didn't do that because the whole point was to push a social message. They actually, I'm not kidding, and some people may think that this is a joke, they actually wanted you to pull a barf. They wanted to make that a thing. They wanted to make barving a thing. They wanted to push this on you. They thought that that was going to catch on. Do you understand? The reason why there's such a linear path is because there's a couple points that they really wanted to get to, because there are things that personally for them that they wanted to make culturally relevant and impactful. And I'm here to tell you, it was never going to work. I'm not going to degrade myself by prostrating myself in front of some freak. Because you misgendered her. Good, I'll do it twice on Sunday. The fact is that everything about this game is inferior, short-sighted, agenda-driven nonsense by a bunch of nonsense. Nonsense by nonsense. I think that this is a teachable moment for anyone who's wise enough to listen. The West is getting mollywopped by the East when it comes to gaming. And guess what? I know this is going to be crazy for some people here. I don't want that to happen. I don't want America to continue to lose. I don't want these Western studios to continue to lose. I like them to be competitive. I'd like our media to be the envy of the world. But our media is filled with freaks and degenerates and bottom-feeding, subhuman, narcissistic, obnoxious losers. And until that changes, I think this is going to be more of the same. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.